For as long as people have been around, we've asked this one huge question. What happens after we die? Well, today, we're going to unpack a really fascinating and intricate answer that comes from the original teachings of the Buddha. It's basically a detailed map of existence itself.
Yeah, it's probably one of the biggest questions out there, right? Is this it? Or is this life just one stop on some much, much longer journey? The framework we're digging into today actually gives a surprisingly detailed answer. It lays out this huge map of all the possible places we could go.
Okay, so to even start reading this map, we need to get two key terms down, bhava and bhumi. Think of bhava as a state of being, like a specific vibe or frequency you're on, and bhumi is the actual place, the realm or home that perfectly matches that vibe. And what's really important here is that we're not just talking about physical places. We're talking about whole dimensions of consciousness that you can actually be born into.
So this whole framework, it takes every possible state of being you can imagine. I mean, from the absolute lowest hells all the way up to the most incredible heavens, and it sorts them all into just three fundamental types of realms.
All right, so these are the three main continents on our map, so to speak. First up, we've got the realm of senses. And trust me, this one's going to feel pretty familiar. Then we'll level up to the more refined realm of form. And after that, we'll get to the most subtle and, well, abstract of them all, the formless realm. So let's start our journey. Okay, let's begin right here, where we are now, the realm of senses. This is basically any kind of existence that's all about experiencing pleasure and pain through, you guessed it, our five senses: sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. But here's the thing. Even within this one realm, you've got some vastly different neighborhoods. So this realm of senses is basically split down the middle into two totally different paths. On one side, you have what are called the happy destinations. That includes us, the human world, but also heavenly realms filled with incredible pleasure. But on the other side, you've got the woeful destinations. We're talking about the animal realm, the realm of hungry ghosts, and even hells, all of them defined by suffering. And the most important thing to get here is that which path you end up on isn't some random lottery. It's a direct result of your actions.
But what if you could experience a kind of happiness, a bliss, that's so deep it goes completely beyond the five senses? That's what brings us to the next major territory on our map, the realm of form. And this is a level of existence you don't get to through just everyday actions. Nope, this one is achieved through some seriously deep meditative practice.
So welcome to the realm of form. The beings here, they're called Brahmas, and they have these subtle, glowing bodies made of light. The way they're born here is as a direct result of mastering something called jhana, which are these incredibly deep states of meditative focus. Here, happiness isn't about seeing something beautiful or tasting something delicious. It's a pure, radiant bliss that just comes from a mind that is in a state of unbelievable concentration.
Okay, so if we can go beyond basic sensual desire to get to the realm of form, can we take it even further? Is it possible to go beyond form itself? Well, according to this map, the answer is a definite yes. And that leads us to the highest, most subtle planes of existence you can imagine.
And here we are, the formless realm. It's exactly what it sounds like. Beings here, they don't have a body at all. They exist as pure consciousness, just dwelling in these mind-boggling states like infinite space, or infinite consciousness, or one that's described as neither perception nor non-perception. This is the outcome of the absolute deepest levels of meditation, where the mind just completely leaves behind any concept of a physical self.
All right, so we've got this incredible map with all these different realms, but what's the engine? What's actually driving the bus, moving beings between all these places? Is it just fate? Is it some higher power judging everyone? According to these teachings, the mechanism is actually way more direct and a lot more personal.
It all boils down to a super clear principle of cause and effect. Simple as that. Unwholesome actions, stuff driven by greed and anger, that leads you to the woeful destinations. Wholesome, kind actions, those lead to the happy ones. And mastering those deep meditative states, the jhanas, that is the direct ticket to the higher realms of form and formlessness. See, it's a precise, predictable system. It's not about chance, and it's not about some external judgment.
Okay, now this is where the map gets really interesting, and it kind of flips a lot of common ideas on their head. Let's say you do a lot of good stuff, and you get born into a heavenly realm. Is that it? Game over? You won? Is it a permanent reward? The answer, well, it might just surprise you.
This is just such a perfect way to think about it. All that positive energy, that good karma from your wholesome deeds, it's like a full tank of gas. When you get born into a heavenly realm, you're not at a gas station filling up. You're on the highway, burning through that fuel by experiencing all this intense pleasure. So, what happens when the tank runs dry?
The journey just continues, and this is the absolute core takeaway here. Every single one of these realms, from the deepest, darkest hell to the most sublime, formless state, is impermanent. Not a single one is a final destination. They're all just temporary stops.
This is what's known as the Great Wheel of Existence, or samsara. A being stuck in a hell realm can, eventually, burn through all their negative karma and be reborn as a human. But, and this is the really startling part, a heavenly being who uses up all their good karma can fall all the way back down to a woeful realm in their very next life. The movement is constant, and it's not always up. It can go in any direction.
And that brings us to the biggest, most profound question of all. If even the highest, most blissful heavens are just temporary stops on a long journey, then what's the ultimate destination? This map, it shows us every possible place we can be reborn, but it also hints at something that lies beyond rebirth itself. It suggests that there's a way to step off this wheel entirely. And maybe that's the true purpose of the journey, not to find a better, more comfortable place on the map, but to find the exit,